Olá, senhoras e senhores de todo o multiverso, eu sou o Luan Pierucci, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um AudioHero, o podcast da Super Hero Brasil. Hoje eu estou aqui com o meu querido...
Eu sou o Lucas Algebaile.
E hoje, assim como o último programa, é um programa extremamente especial, porque nós temos outra convidada extremamente especial de um jogo extremamente aclamado deste ano. A gente vai fazer uma coisa um pouquinho diferente, a pedido dela, inclusive, tá? Now I'm switching back to English because I'm gonna give her the opportunity to introduce herself and connect with the Brazilian audience. Please, our great special guest.
Hola, eu soy Shala Nyx e interpreto a Sciel en Expedition 33.
Perfect. Amazing, amazing.
Forgive me, Brazil. Forgive me, please.
No, you were brilliant, perfect.
There's nothing to forgive. You were amazing. Well, as you all seen, we're here with the amazing Shala Nyx, who portrayed it amazingly Sciel in Expedition 33. We're having another very special program here to celebrate this amazing release, and definitely one of the best games, not only in 2025, but in the last decade for me. I am not hiding anything from my love from this game. And today we're going to interview one of the most brilliant characters in the game and see how Shala portrayed her in this amazing way. But first of all, Shala, thank you so much for being here with us. As we were discussing in private, it's such an amazing honor to have you here, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it's a pleasure, and I'm just really glad that I can connect with the Brazilian fans. What a pleasure.
Great, great. Well, so let's start exactly in the beginning. I wanted to know a little bit how was for you your audition process and your connection with Sciel for the first time. How did this role came to you? Did you like search for it, or they just called you directly? How was it for this whole initial process for you to get Sciel?
The initial process. So it came via my voiceover agent, who is Michelle Dyer. She is wonderful. It came from her, and I remember it was a bleak midwinter. I didn't know anything about the project, and I received this project, and it had a code name, and the code name was New Wonder. And I think at that time, you know, in the middle of winter, I really needed some new wonder as well in my life. And so I like to think these things kind of mirror what we're experiencing internally sometimes, you know, when these projects come to you. And no, that's how I received it. And it was just the first audition scene that I received. So I didn't receive too much information about Sciel at all. I got a little bit about her character. And then it was the audition scene was the Lune and Sciel scene when they're staring at the stars, the first time they're coming back together. I think it's been about 12 years, actually. And it was sent to me as it was kind of written, it was written like a screenplay. So it was really easy to kind of access and immerse myself into the world. And honestly, like, what a blessing. It's amazing to receive a script in that way, a voice acting script, and really allowed me to kind of, create the world. And and then I just remember reading about Sciel, that she was like a cheerful and serene warrior. And then when I read the scene, the audition script, there was so much involved. Like it was so rich, and kudos to Jen and Guillaume and the creators at Sandfall, because there was just this tapestry that I was met with and was like, oh wow, how am I going to convey all of this, because it's such a rich tapestry. And so I had like a few, you know, little bits of information about Sciel, and then the script itself. And so I was sort of creating from what I was given. Yeah, so that's how it came about via my UK agent. And then it was sort of a mad creating kind of exploration process after that.
Nice, nice, amazing to hear. Wow, and it's so interesting that like the first contact that you had with Sciel is actually one of the most famous and one of my favorite scenes in the entire game. So carried with emotion and drama. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just saw the cheerful and serene warrior, and then I read the scene, and I was like, they're basically coming back together for the first time. So it was just so helpful to have the context. We had some context before. It was quite detailed, and I was like, how do I convey all of this in just this scene, which on the surface seems like, quite a dreamy, just intimate, safe space between Sciel and Lune in this, high stakes kind of moment. They're capturing this moment where they can have a moment of quiet and connection, but they haven't seen each other for so long. And then you learn of Sciel's history, and so there's so much on the table to play with there. The death of their parents, and them coming together through this moment of deep grief after so long, and wanting this. I call it like it's a fight for friendship here. It's a fight for connection, and I really love how Sciel actually confronts Lune in that scene, and she says after. At the Crooked Tower, when they meet to connect over their parents' death after the gommage, she asks, oh yeah, why did you leave that day? And I just think it's such a brave thing to do in that moment, in her kind of her intent, which is to really connect with Lune, and she says, I think making friends is thirsty work, and they're really in this battle for connection, in this world that's kind of deconstructing around them. So yeah, there was so much to bring to it, and then later I learned more about her character. But that first audition, when I received that scene, I kind of had an idea of the world, and I remember going into the booth when I first got it, and I remember, I worked on it for quite a long time because it was so rich. So you had this connection, you had this emotional tapestry, you had this Sciel's relationship with her father comes into it, and her relationship with the universe as well, and you learn about her kind of faith in something bigger, which I think is so key about her character. She's experienced so much tragedy, and so this faith in something bigger than her is so important, and something she takes with her on the expedition. And so beautiful is conveyed when she's talking to the stars, and but yeah, there's just so much to play with. And then later, I remember getting some feedback from the directors actually based on my first audition, which is quite rare actually to have in voiceover. And I kind of feel like you nail it or you don't, and you don't get any second chances. And what they were asking of me was to just go deeper. And obviously I hadn't seen the character's backstory then, all of it. I just had a few paragraphs and the one scene. And they were like, yeah, can we just try and go a bit deeper? And I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So you don't have a conversation with anyone, it's an email. And then you're like, okay, so I'm asking of myself, how can I mine this character even more? How can I mine the character, and how can I make her even more authentic? And what does that require of me? And so it was an incredibly nuanced, detailed process for me, and one that I think I've been in the booth for multiple hours for multiple roles in games, but for a single character role, I think that is the kind of most diligent I've had to be, and rightly so, because we do learn that she has this huge tapestry, which we later found out when we received the character bios and the journals and the history and the relationship connections and stuff.
Well, that's actually very nice, because I was just about to ask you, how was your whole preparation for the role when you did get the role and you got to learn a little bit more about Sciel's past, and how was she in the game, and how was going to be her relationship with the other characters? Because for me, she's definitely one of the most complex characters in the entire game. You get to meet her as this funny and sassy and fierce warrior in the game, as you described yourself. But then you get to learn more and more and more. And you finish the game like, damn, that's really intense.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that.
And this is something that I want to...
tears on the floor, just like...
Definitely, yeah. And this is something that I wanted to know about you, not only for your portraying Sciel, but in your other roles as well. How is your whole preparation process? Do you take like time to improvise and put things that you feel like, okay, the character would need something like this or like that, or you rely totally on the direction and for this whole preparation?
Yeah, so my preparation process for Sciel kind of required something, a lot more of me. It was asking something more of me than I'd been asked before. It was asking me to be really kind of true with this kind of emotional world, and then there's the technical side of it as well, and then there's her characteristics, and as you said, she's extremely complex, and how does that compare to other roles that I've played in video games? So I would say definitely useful. Like I guess I can draw from Farida Naziri in Cyberpunk, and it was, she's incredibly diligent, so that was really, that's a useful kind of resource to pull from. Very highly educated, very good at her job, but just a bit like had enough. She just has had enough. And like doing those things with Keanu Reeves was just hilarious, because I don't think of it. She's so rude. She's so rude and kind of uncouth and very nonchalant, shall we say. But she is incredibly good at what she does as the cyberdoc in Cyberpunk. And then, like, I guess pulling from emotional roles, like my role as Polly in Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, it was a relationship kind of game. There was an emotional world that I had to pull from there. Whereas Farida, no emotional world. And then Baldur's Gate 3, let's say, like Davella Fountainhead, very, she was a detective, very good at her job. She's research-based, highly intuitive. So that was definitely something that we employ with Sciel as well. Incredibly intuitive, can see things almost before they happen, has this ability to kind of sense what everyone is kind of needing at once, that kind of that kind of informed intuition. And then Sciel, once we received her full character bio and her history, you see just, so you pull from other, you're pulling from yourself every time, what parts of you are diligent, what parts of you are like investigative, and you're getting to express those parts of you and playful and off the cuff and all of those fun things. And then technically, I guess that would meld with the other characters I played. Technically on the mic, I'm always kind of listening listening to how things are coming across on the mic, learning my intimacy with the mic, and playing with that. So technically, emotionally, intellectually, and then with the world that we were fed with Sciel later, once I booked the role, was amazing. So we received this like whole Bible for the game, which is just so rare and just such a fantastic thing to have as an actor, and you can really get under the bones and in the world, and I've never received that for a game before. And so, and especially for Sciel, and especially in a game like this, where it's, you know, we're really focused on the relationships in the game, and how people, yeah, you know, use those relationships and need those relationships. And so, yeah, Sciel was very different, and it was I really had to use the kind of research given to me. It was just so great of Guillaume and Jen to provide that, and then have the director with me in the booth to just feed into certain moments where, you know, because I create it kind of from what they gave me in the audition, and that's a really strong foundation for the creation of her. And then I got the whole character history, and then it can really resonate even further, and even deeper, and create that world where she is just this 5-dimensional being. It's mind, body, soul, space. Yeah, it's incredible in spirit. So Sciel was very different, I will say that. And, you know, it's amazing how much detail they went into. So I learned about Sciel's mother and father, and her mother was an obstetrician, her father was a farmer, and then Sciel is an apprentice at a very young age 6. So she has that diligence, she has that wanting to learn, she has this disconnect with her family at a really young age. And then she falls in love, and she loses her husband, and she loses her parents, and then she loses her, and she suffers a depression, and she tries to, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say here, so please stop me if this is too much of a spoiler.
Feel free.
Okay. I know some of these are optional parts, but these you know, parts of the character history are just integral, so that you come in from a place of you have the world, you have the strong foundation, and, you know, and then just back to her history was, you know, her history with depression, and her attempt on her life, her loss of her unborn child. It is huge. It's just really gigantic stuff. And so there was my challenge, like nothing I've ever experienced in the world of voice acting before. And there was my kind of platform to be able to do that. And I'm just so grateful to have been able to do that, because the responses that I've received through the hard work, through the complexity of creating her, you know, vocally, and it's just, it has to resonate for me on a somatic level in order for that performance to be true and to resonate with the fans. And I'm just so grateful that it has, and some of the feedback I've received has just been like astonishing. So yeah, it's different. Technically there are similarities, but emotionally the world of Sciel is a joy to behold and a joy to kind of embody.
Shala, how do your previous works have influence in this work on Sciel? You have too much, or you just created something new?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely new. I would say not my previous work hasn't informed how the creation of Sciel vocally. I would say my emotional world can meld with Sciel, and that's how we go into creating her. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and it's something interesting because this is not like particular for Sciel, but you've been in other important roles where you had to dedicate a lot of yourself and you had to put a lot of emotion in it. And I know this is like one of the first like baby steps when you're starting acting and voice acting, which is like to separate and try not to carry too much or like blend naturally your life with the character's life. And how are you in this preparation and in this separation between your personal life and your professional work? Because we know a lot of actors who use like the method, you know, they live the character, but this kind of harms a little bit of you outside of work. So I wanted to know how you do it.
Yeah, I think I use a lot of tools. I went through a very thorough training where they teach us tools for de-rolling, especially my drama therapist. I will shout her out now. Nikita, she is been my savior for things like this. I think I've been doing really kind of like work since I was really young. Like I started performing when I was 8 in the West End, and so I'm really familiar with the world and what it takes. And but yeah, I think that doesn't mean it gets any easier. There is, especially in theatre, when you are really embodying and it's live and you're having a live audience response, de-rolling is a great tool, and there are just exercises that you can do that bring you back into your body. And I've worked with some amazing theatre companies that teach us that. Yeah, I was doing like a lot of creative kind of activism when I was like 13, and yeah, there are tools that you can use. I think with voice acting, there's definitely been a moment where, you know, you go there and then you just take a moment, and then with voice acting it moves so quickly, so it's quite ephemeral in that way, which is just so great. It's so great. It's quite healthy, so you don't stay in any place, you know, for too long. You're kind of just moving on. You're moving it a little to get through all the lines. I actually recorded all of my lines in like, I don't know, I think it was quite intense, like a week. So you're getting through a lot of material, you know. One moment you're in love and then you are on the verge of despair. So you can't stay in any place for too long, but the separation is like just so key. And yeah, I definitely have tools that I've accrued over the years.
Oh, very, very, very nice, very nice. One more question that was just veering a little away from the focus, but how do you think that AI using of the in productions, like some producers are doing remasters and using this the original material, remastering, and not asking permission for their original voices. There are cases that we're knowing about this. And what do you think about this? Because the voice is your work too.
Yeah, the voice is very much your work, very much your property, very much obviously a part of you. And I can't speak too much on it because I guess I don't know. I would say I don't know each case individually or how that's happening too much. I know in my world that my agents are doing their very best to ensure we're protected at all costs for the onslaught of AI.
Yeah, every day the AI's advanced too much.
Yeah, and you know, we're in talks about it all the time. I'm working on something at the moment, and my director friend and I were speaking about it, and he was just saying that it hasn't got a soul, you know, it hasn't got a soul yet. And will it ever have a soul? And that's what I think what people are relating to in these kind of video games. They're relating to the heart of the piece, the soul of the piece, the heart of the human. And so if it's not human, I don't know. I honestly, I've heard some, and I know that AI voices are like very close, but yeah, I'm fighting against it, of course.
Yeah, and that's and that's a thing. We can see that it's happening around the world as well, but it's something that especially we're suffering in Brazil because the Brazilian dubbing is very, very famous. You know, there are a few productions like TV shows and stuff that the Brazilian people only know due to the Brazilian dubbing, and it's something that is suffering a lot here in Brazil. And one interesting thing now, lighting a little bit the mood. Expedition 33 doesn't have a Brazilian dubbing yet. So I believe that we're starting your process on learning Portuguese in order to do Sciel in Portuguese as well. Who knows?
Cannot wait, guys. And if that is an offer for lessons, I will gladly take you up on it. I am a slower learner these days, I would say, but I am hardworking. You know, I would love that. I would love that.
That's all it takes.
You just gained 2 teachers now.
Yes. 2 is definitely probably needed for your sanity more than anything else.
Great. And one other thing that I wanted to know on your performance, we interviewed Rich Kibo, who performed amazingly Monoko, and we asked him how was his preparation for the role and how was it for him to like give his voice to a character that was already being made in the motion capture. And he said something very interesting because he said that it was quite easier for him because the character doesn't have a face. It's just the mask, you know? And I wanted to know your side of the story now because Sciel does have a face. She has the motion capture and the syncing and the expressions. How is it for you, this process, especially when dubbing games? Because we know that it's a digital character in the screen, and sometimes you don't have like the visual guide in there. How is it for you to sync and to bring this kind of emotions and to change the tone depending on the scene?
Great question. How is it for me so I didn't see any of the artwork for Sciel at all until I was offered the role. So yeah, that's in a way that's quite freeing, you know. So you're just going in with what you have in the scene. You're trying to do that to the best of your ability, and then it's not really, you know, my call on whether that is what the creators are looking for. That is what the creators are looking out for. Yeah, so it was, you know, and I very much, as I mentioned, like had the, you know, a little bit of information about the character and the scene itself, and I'm just trying to, you know, do that as authentically as I can, really. And then later, when I received the artwork and the Bible and saw the world, I was like, I'd already got the part, so there was no reason for me to kind of worry about that or question that or wonder about whether that was a fit or how I would mold into it. It was just so great seeing her and seeing how like badass she was, and like, you know, seeing, you know, just her physicality, her poise, her you know, her or what do you call it, anyway, I forget the word, but yeah, you know, her marks and her characteristics, her physical characteristics, and Yeah, so that was wonderful to see, but I guess that wasn't really part of my process. That came later. And then when I was voicing her, I wasn't syncing. I wasn't doing it timed at all, which is obviously really, really freeing. Whether maybe Guillaume and Jen had an eye on that, you know, maybe I was lucky, and that was just a different kind of process. So yeah, it was a really, I think once I booked it, it was kind of I kind of knew we were in the realm of already having a foundation for her, and that was her, and then I would be steered to explore her in different scenarios through the direction of Joe Green and Jen and Guillaume. Yeah.
Nice. That's very interesting. Very nice.
Yeah.
I can see that not only in the interview, but in all the interviews that I've seen from you and the cast and everybody talking about the game, the direction of Guillaume and Jen was something that it was very, like, it was a pillar of the whole process, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. It's so rare to they're just, obviously they're the creators, and then but like they cared so deeply about the project as well, you know, and we worked in person, and that's really rare as well. They want to see you, they want to look in your eyes and see that you're conveying this, and seeing that you're feeling what you're doing, you're really embodying this, and you're getting that across, and they're there to encourage that and inform you along the way, and that is just, yeah, really special. Yeah, obviously they've been with the world so much longer than us, you know, so yeah, that's just, it's just so helpful. So if there's anything you kind of forget along the way, or you know, need further information about, they're there to answer those questions and steer you. Yeah.
Nice, amazing. And I wanted to ask something that it's kind of lightening the mood a little bit too, but it's a curiosity on your part as well. For you, what was like the most difficult line to say in the entire game, and why was it putain? Because I see that everybody was struggling to say that. Yeah.
I don't think I struggled as much with the French word. My mum has lived in France for the last 20 years. So, yeah, you know, I have a lot of French friends, you know, learned French growing up. And so, and, you know, we do know the swear words more than and anything. So I think I mean, don't quote me on this. Guillaume will confirm whether I was good or bad at the French. I don't think that was my most difficult to say. But there were other lines, you know, and that was just about Sciel's kind of character and what I needed to bring to a certain moment. Yeah.
Very nice, because it's interesting. I saw the video where the whole cast was trying to say the
Yes.
word correctly, and it's something very amazing in the game. When I started to play the game, I started a little bit in French because I wanted to see how was the French dubbing and all, and then I switched everything to English, and I remember the exact moment when they're departing with the expedition, and they say Putain for the first time. And I was like, okay, this is a brilliant piece of direction for them to leave this specific word in French in the game, you know?
Oh no, it's so good. And honestly, there were, I don't know if you'll keep this in the edit, but there were other swear words as well that I got to say, but I don't know if they're in the game. Like I don't know if they kept them in, but we had a lot of fun in the booth with them.
Nice,
A
nice.
little
It's interesting because when you're learning a new language, of course you need to learn like the basics of everything, but the swear words are always like the most fun
Yeah.
of everything to learn, right?
Yeah, and like I feel like they're like easier as well because they have like a passion. They're like there's a true intention. It's a very clear intention, you know.
Exactly. And part of your Portuguese lessons also, if you want, we can teach you how to say like the equivalent of putani in Portuguese.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. I wonder how that would I wonder how that would translate. Like how is it? Like rhythmically, how is it? We don't have to say it, but like rhythmically, how is it? Would it give the same kind of effect, do you think?
It does. It's a little longer, the word, because we're gonna say it to you because it's very interesting. In Portuguese, like the equivalent would be like filha da puta.
Okay. Oh, but you could say it really quick, you know, and sassy, and it was
Yeah.
Like,
filha da puta. Yeah.
It's one of the tops here in Brazil.
It's filha de puta? Filha?
Yes, filha da
That's
puta.
it.
Yeah.
Puta. Oh,
Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
love
You're
it.
Brazilian, don't you?
Love it. Oh, guys, I can't wait. I can't wait to visit Brazil. I'm really excited. It's just some of the people that reached out to me for the game. Yeah, they were like, yeah, some of the ones that like really deeply resonated with Sciel, they were from Brazil. So I was so happy when you guys contacted me. Yeah.
No, that's something amazing to hear because I say like I am passionate with video games, and when we get the opportunity to talk to you, to talk to Rich, and the work that we do, I'm not only like I can say for both me and Lucas, and he can say for himself as well. This is not only us producing content for the channel. This is us like fulfilling dreams. You know, we get to talk to the persons who
fans doing
exactly
living a dream. Fans living a dream.
I love that.
exactly exactly. So please definitely come to Brazil because you will be very well received here. I am sure of that.
I'm on it.
We can guarantee that, me and him.
Yeah,
We're gonna guarantee that.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Trust me. I haven't been because I always said, like, I just had this sense, like, if I ever go to Brazil, I don't know if I would leave. So I'm a little bit like that. Just like I do travel quite a bit, and then there's certain places that I'm just like, oh, I think I could live here. I'll stay here a while.
I think you're gonna like that. You're gonna came here, not gonna come back.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. It's not the right time.
Like taking the moment that you're talking about the love that you receive from the fans and the whole impact that your work does in our lives and in these amazing stories. I wanted you to hear a little more of you talking about the whole feedback that you received from this game, because you said that you received many heartwarming feedbacks from not only Brazil but your other fans, and you've done many amazing parts over the years, but this one, as you said, is special, was different. How different and how special was these other feedbacks that you received from this game?
Oh my gosh, I think like the feedback has been so broad. Like it's been so broad. Like people just love how deadly she is in combat. And I'm just loving all of the memes. Like this has my Sciel of approval. And then there's another one that's like, and I really wanted to say this one because there is a couple of fans that are like, why does Shala never say this? And I think it's called Time to Shine. That was it. Time to shine. There's like other memes of like, it's your turn to shine. And then she has her like full stack of cards. So the feedback has been really broad. Like I remember some of the first moments were just how much people are resonating with her emotional world. I think how much people are finding that so valuable to immerse themselves in a world where someone is, experienced so much grief and has found a way through that. And I think a lot of people are, that's what people are reaching out to me saying. People are resonating with her, when she's there and she defeats the Axon mask, and it's a moment of like true authenticity when she comes into contact and she's the only one that can unmask the Axon, and she's like, this mask can't hurt me because it is me. And people have been reaching out to me through that as well, and just relating to her authenticity and how, the only way to get past these kinds of dark moments in our life is through and with each other, and people are getting to do that in this game and with this character. And the most recent ones have been just really sweet. I'll read you some. Everything is so moving that a character can do this in a game. Like Samful they're just so epic for creating this character and creating this story, and all of the characters in the game, they, each is relevant because they have each other on this expedition as well, and I really enjoyed her spirited and even flirty side, and also the heartache and pain underneath it. The final relationship scene emotionally obliterates me every time. I never thought I'd get so emotional playing a game like this. Sciel is truly a once-in-a-lifetime character. I truly mean that. And someone wrote this to me yesterday. I just wanted to show my appreciation for your work in Claire Obscure. It was truly a joy to play and experience, and one of my highlights was definitely Sciel. I felt myself drawn to her personality and aesthetics, but then we get her story, and it just so deeply moved me. Due to the writing and your acting, she has been cemented as one of my favorite characters ever. So thank you. This is my favorite character of all time. It's just so epic, and it's just so heartwarming. And I think for me, it's just so deeply moving to know that this character is doing that for the fan base, and and like, I know we talk about the depth so much with Sciel, but she is, I think people can relate to her because she is so light and playful and flirty, and she has these really she's so wry, and sarcastic, and she's super tactical, with the way that she communicates, and yeah. So I know we talk about the depth and her rich tapestry, but I think people are relating to that because she does it in such a playful way. Yeah,
and not forgetting, she's a badass character, because speaking
exactly.
for me, she was like the main character in my party. I never removed her from my party, so she's definitely the highest level that I have in the game right now.
I was hearing that people she's deadly in battle because she has these strategic moves in battle, right? And so it takes a little bit more thought, but then once you've got it, she's completely deadly. So I think it takes a bit more time to build that, but then once you have it, she's definitely coming out truly destroying what she can.
Yeah.
Ultimate destructibility.
Yeah.
Just an observation, Shala, your eyes glows when you talk about Sciel.
Oh,
I noticed that now.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, she's so cool. We love her. She's so cool. It's been so long since we've done it now as well. You know, it's been a while. So, you know, over a year. And then, so there's things I forget. And so when I speak to you guys, or we speak about the role and the process, there's things I remember. I'm like, oh, like I am going to play and I need a bit of help. Like I probably need a lot of help. But I do have it, and I have it loaded up, and I'm in scene one, and then I just don't know what to do. So I just need some help. But I do watch, you know, I watch a lot of it online, and I recently came across the Verso and Sciel, the romance, and it's hilarious. It's so funny, you know. The underhanded comments on each other, and she's so confident. She's like, you know, she's just there. She's just gonna pursue Verso, you know, and avoid her tragic past, all in one line. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, amazing, amazing. Shala, I can safely say Sciel is definitely one of my favorite characters as well. You know, as I said along the show, we were introduced to her as this funny and light character in the first hours. One of the scenes that doesn't leave my memories when she and Gustav are talking about the Ferris wheel, and she was like, "Oh, you think people used to date in there? Oh, you know." It was a funny scene to start is right when you meet her, and then you get this load of drama, and it's absolutely amazing. So being able to talk to you and see your side of the story, see how you portray this amazing scenes, it's a real honor. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was amazing.
Of course. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Before we wrap this up, do you want to share your social media, where people can follow more of your work, how to find you, how to contact you?
Yeah, I'm just at Shala Nyx, SHALANYX, at Shala Nyx on Instagram. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Any last comments for your fans out there, the people that admire your work, for your Brazilian fans as well?
What will I say to the fans? I will say, it's your turn to shine. I'll just leave it at that. A little bit of Sciel, love.
Amazing, amazing. Great. Now I'm switching a little back to Portuguese so we can wrap up the show. Bom, para todos que acompanharam a gente até agora, eu tenho certeza que vocês aproveitaram esse programa tanto quanto a gente. Como a gente mencionou, não é só produzir conteúdo, mas também é um sonho se tornando realidade aqui também, tendo essas incríveis oportunidades. Bom, se você gostou, acompanhe a gente no Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. É tudo Super Hero Brasil ou AudioHero, que é o nosso programa aqui de agora. Se você gostou, dá o seu like, se inscreva, segue a gente e acompanhe que daqui a pouco a gente tem mais surpresas também. Até a próxima.